Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Game From Scratch, and today we are talking about AssetForge. And this is actually one of my favorite indie tools out there, so I am happy to talk about it. And you might be thinking, hey, wait a minute, didn't you talk about this very recently? And in fact, yes, I did. Back on April 1st, and no, it was not an April Fool's Day joke, and yes, April Fool's Day can burn in a special kind of hell. I talked about AssetForge 2.0 being released, and there was a couple things about that release that were kind of issues, and they have been resolved in today's release of AssetForge 2.1. Most specifically, when I reviewed AssetForge 2.0, which I will link down below, so if you want to jump in and learn a bit more about it and how to use it and so on, I will have that link there. But what we are talking about today is the 2.1 release, and the key thing here, AssetForge 2.0, did not have Mac and Linux versions at that point in time. It did, however, add Lua scripting, which made it so you could make procedural content in AssetForge, which was really, really cool. But this version actually finally has all three major platforms supported, as we will see in just a second. But before I jump into the 2.1 release details, I'm going to head on over and show you AssetForge. Now, if you've never heard of it, AssetForge is a kit bashing tool from Kenney of Kenney.nl fan. You know, the guy that's made all those free downloadable packs you probably made your first game with. Well, this is a kit bashing kit that enables you to really quickly make models out of a collection of parts. Now you can see some of these are marked with a little marker down there. That's because I have the ultra premium version, which costs like 20 bucks more. But it just basically gives you a library of more assets. And what you do is basically bring these things together. So say I wanted to make a space shuttle. I start with the cockpit. I'll go with the front hull, like so. And you can just sort of start snapping things together. I am making the ugliest thing you've ever seen right now, but so I could come in here, I could find a wing to go with it, or I could do some inlets, and I can move them around and fine-tune them. And then what this will do ultimately is take my creation and turn it into a nice uniform mesh that we can then export out and use in our game engine of choice. If you have, let's say, limited artistic ability, AssetForge is a great tool for you. Now, I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail on AssetForge because I already covered it in that 2.0 video, so I will link that instead. But I did want to give you an idea of what you're getting into. And on top of that, there's some really cool tools in here so that you can actually render this out into a collection of sprites. So we can export this out as sprites. We can say render this at this angle, this position, kind of do a rotate around it, and have it export out n number of sprites. It'll automatically render for you. And so say we want to do a 45-degree isometric, we can have it render there. We can have it do up to like 15, 20 sprites from all different angles for ready use in your game. Or you could just straight out export as an OBJ file. Okay, how do I exit? I don't actually know how to get to that. All right, there we go. You can also straight out export as an OBJ file format, which is a really popular static mesh format. That's wavefront object format. That is available and supported in every game engine that's 3D that I can think of, and every 3D tool that I can think of. So basically, you can get your meshes out textured as they are, and you can also go ahead and you can do some mild painting in here as well with full palette control. Again, I will link you to that other article or that other video hands-on, so if you want to learn more about what this kit bashing tool is all about, you can see it there. Now, there is one thing that's really cool in here. There was a bunch of additions, but one of the categories I really like is this one. We now have mech. So if I want to come in here, I can make a foot, like so, and we can start building these things together. There's a head, there's a head. All right, where's my leg? So body. All right, let's drop a mech body in here, like so, and we could drop a head on top of it, like so, and we can basically just start making mech out of the mech bits. I'm happy to see this. I like mechs. You can also bring in your own things, by the way, so let's put a weapon turret in here. Where am I going to put that? I guess that isn't going to mount easily yet. So we need some shoulders or something. Where are my shoulders? I don't know. Let's do a search. Shoulders. Okay, here we go. Chest, shoulders. Okay, so we'll drop that in. I guess that would be... I already did one of those, didn't I? Anyways, you get the idea here. You basically start taking all of these pieces together. You put them in as you wish. You got tools for rotating and positioning them around, but we now have this new set of blocks here for creating 3D mesh objects. Unfortunately, there's no bones or animation in here. That'd be a cool new feature to see at some point in the future, but that is AssetForge very poorly demonstrated, but it's got tools in there for snapping things to other things, and then when you're done, it will turn it into a single, somewhat optimized mesh for use in your game, or you could bring it into something like Blender and work with it further from there. All right, so that is a really quick hands-on with AssetForge 2.1 itself. So now we're going to head back over and get some of the details about 2.1. So like I said, it was just released today, a couple of hours ago, and it is by that Kenney, Kenney of Kenney.nl fame. So if you wanted to always support him for all those free assets he gave you, this is a great way of doing it and getting a nice tool yourself. A new update has been released. This version overhauls the world-based UV mapping for better compatibility. Before asking for support, please be sure to check the documentation and the troubleshooting section. Specifically, there is also a Discord server, so if you want to jump on there to get more information, that is available as well. They overhauled the texture tiling, fixing all known problems, added option to place selections on board or in center, a bunch of bug fixes that were in here as well, and then they added a number of new blocks. 30 new blocks to the mechanical collection, 5 new in the castle, 5 new in the roofs, 4 in the blasters, 4 in the vehicles, and 2 in the primitives. And since I last covered this, there were a couple of preview releases as well. So you can see here, a lot of times in these preview releases, there's a couple of new changes here, and the big one is the last preview is what finally brought Mac and Linux support online. But we've also got things like each one, we get a number of new blocks. So 12 new city blocks and 2 new roof blocks were added, or roof if you're an American that says it wrong. And we've got, again, some changes here in the previous version. This is from the last time I covered it, to more 2D sprite rendering. And there's, again, you could do like a 32 angle batch to 2D sprite exporting. So if you want to create a 2D game from a 3D model, this thing kind of takes care of it for you, which is definitely nice. And then again, in this update, we got a number of new blocks as well. Oh, it's my most hated word, foliage. Anyways, we got city and dungeon and foliage blocks as well. So you can see each time there is a new release out there, you get a number of new blocks. And you'll notice here it is 1995 or more. The or more, actually, is it the premium? Okay, where did the premium go? It might not be a thing anymore. I don't know if they've changed the structure there. Oh, yeah, there still is a premium version available here. This is the deluxe version. It is $39.95, so basically 20 bucks more than the other one. And this one, really, the only difference between the two particular versions is you get more additional blocks in this update. And you can see here some of the Kitbash things that were created from the blocks that are available in it. And so you can see, other than the hideous stuff that I've showcased you in this example, you can do some really cool looking work with a very sparse, clean art style. I actually am a fan of this style approach. And the nice thing is, creating more or bringing in other people's work that meshes with it, especially if you're a programmer creating programmer art, isn't that hard. There's like, for example, the Simply Polygon kits that are often on sale out there. They mesh with this art style really, really well. And again, there's tooling in there to automatically export it to sprite. So if it's sprite artwork instead of 3D that you're working with, it also makes your life easy. So if you're interested in picking up AssetForge, it is available at AssetForge.io. I will, of course, link that in the linked article as well. The cool thing is you just kind of keep getting free updates. You buy it once and it's pretty much yours forever. On top of that, if you buy it, you're supporting one of the nicest guys in game development, and I appreciate doing that kind of thing. Again, the deluxe version is really just the standard version with 10% more blocks, but if you wanted to support Kenney just a little bit more, hey, that is your option. Again, one-time payment cost, a lifetime of upgrades, it seems. So AssetForge is finally on all the other platforms. I know that was kind of one of the issues there earlier, but you can come in here, you can download it for Windows, Linux, and Mac finally. Very nice to see. And I think now that he's got that all sorted, it will probably be kind of a consistent release schedule. So when 2.2 comes, I imagine we'll probably see Windows, Linux, and Mac all together. I know the jump up to 2.0, and it's actually built on the Unique Game Engine. I know it created some cross-platform issues that he had to resolve, but I think they are resolved now, so you should be able to get it for the various different platforms. It's interesting. that the Linux binary is 10 megabytes bigger and that the Windows binary is the smallest. That's not normally how these things work. By the way, it's a straight out zip file, and as you can see, it is quite tiny. Just bring it down, extract it out, run the executable, and you're good to go. And as I briefly mentioned earlier on, you can actually get in there and create your own blocks, and the community actually has provided some blocks as well. So if you're interested, that article will be linked as well with this video at the bottom. So if you want to check out AssetForge, I highly recommend that you do so. All right, that is it. AssetForge 2.1 just released. Definitely has my recommendation, especially if you are a programmer working in the land of programmer art. This one makes your programmer art look so much easier, and it is a quick and simple tool once you get used to it, but it can do some pretty impressive results, and it comes with a huge catalog of blocks to work from, and it's from a great guy that I highly recommend supporting. So AssetForge 2.1, check it out, let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.